just coming within sight of CORRA Castle. Now, it's worth adding that you can actually, if you want to take a cleaner and faster path, you can actually come along this one. That there is the one I came, which is a wee bit muddier, but if you come along that one, it basically meets the old path just before you get to Bonington Linn. The castle's just over there. You can see some of the walls round about it. We'll go down and have a wee look. That's it just there. It's a lot of it's all covered in ivy, and you can see the cliff that it sits on. See just the sheer drop right down there. And just have a wee look round. You can see these walls here, which I believe, looking at the age of them, would probably be part of outer defences. They're a bit broken down. Masonry probably reused for other building projects. This isn't probably their original height. It may have been, but the looks of it, they've capped them off with cement or concrete just to protect them. Just pop through here. These walls are quite thick. They're about 2 foot thick. You can see they're quite old masonry there, built in the same way as the castle. Now, these walls seem to encase this flat area here. You'll see there's a wall coming there and going up along here, and you've got obviously a steep drop over there. The castle just over there. We'll have a wee look at that in a second. But this flat area here, it's most likely been related to the actual castle itself. Maybe house, servant quarters, stables, workshops for your, well, these people all needed blacksmiths for making shoes for their horses, metalworking hardware for the castle itself, everything from hinges to swords. So it's quite possible that this area here has accommodated those sort of people and buildings. There's a doorway here to go through. Looks as if there's been a lock possibly in there, which is odd because it's on the outside. Strange. Maybe they had more out here. So if we walk down here, you can see that wall continues down here to that point there, and just over the other side of where the wall would be, there's a ditch here. Now this completes the defences of the core of the castle, which is there. The other three sides are protected by basically sheer cliffs that's going down, one on this side, one on the rear side, and the other over there. So you've got effectively probably 60 foot drops from the base of the castle down to the Clyde, and this here would have completed the defences. And then there's a wee sort of bridge going across. You can see this wall here, that would have lined up with that. Now it looks as if this has been possibly part of the outer defences, though when you look at this wall here, that's running out that way. So it is possible that there has been other walled structures out here. So quite possibly outer defences. This wall here again is roughly about 2 feet thick, like the other ones. Yep, first good look at the castle there. Now it was built in 1572 for or by the Somerville family. So it's a fairly old structure. Looks as if it's been quite a tall building, and when you see engravings and artist impressions from a few hundred years ago, it shows that it's been a tower house back in the day, which makes sense for that kind of period in time, because those sort of structures were really common in the lowlands of Scotland, especially in this area, Lanarkshire and the borders. You've got the peel towers and the borders for the reavers and their families, and Lanarkshire basically had the same. Now, looks like here there's been a wall that encased a courtyard and made up the inner defences of the castle. This door here isn't the original, but you can see the quite fine archway. We'll go along here a wee bit. You can't go into the castle because it's apparently there's bats inside and they're protected, so you're not allowed public access. Well, not at least without prior arrangement. So I'll give you a wee look in here. You can see the building. Still a bit of it left, the lower portion anyway. It looks as if there's some rooms there that look intact, probably cellars. And these walls here, I mean, my arm is at full reach. My body's up against the wall, and I'm not even halfway through. So you think my arm's maybe about nearly 3 feet. So these walls will be about 6 feet thick, maybe more. Also read a wee while ago that this was defended by a structure called a ha-ha, which is from French. I don't see anything else, so I believe that this here may have been it. Now, ha-has may sound like a laugh, but it is a real word apparently. Is a type of ditch used for defence of castles and buildings, but it's also used for keeping livestock in. Now, what it is, you've got a slope running down and then a steep angled wall going up, and apparently that was so that if people or animals go down the way, they then would find it harder to get back up, rather than your traditional V ditch. But that must be the remains of it there, because I don't see anything that would resemble it, or at least surviving out there anyway. Now just over my left shoulder down there is CORRA House, and that's the big house for the CORRA House estate. It's actually still a private residence, so unfortunately you can't go down and have a look, or at least I don't think you can. It was built in the 1820s, I believe, for the Cranston family. But quite an impressive building. You can see here an old gateway. That's probably been at the very least Victorian, wrought iron construction. There's a strainer post there, an old style one. Private path to the house, so yeah, as I thought, you're not getting down there. If you continue down this path, you can go down to the CORRA Falls and get basically an eye level view from the opposite side.